Before we get very far into our next story, we do have a warning for you tonight. What you're about to see and hear may not be suitable for children. Tonight, take a walk in their world.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Transpicuous News. I've been trying to record this for 2 days, but if you watch the Unfuck It discussion, you'll know that my internet has been shite this week. It is February 24th. I just have a couple of things. That I want to talk about today. On the shows, I'm always discussing transparency and the fact of they are making things extremely transparent right now. Pardon me. They're making things very clear. Anyone with the brain cells and the ability to break through the programming should be able to look at some of this stuff and be just blown away. What reality are we actually living in? Because holy shit. Okay, so I have my coffee. We're going to talk about this. Let's pull up the screen share. I touched on this on the Unfuck It discussion on Monday, talking about the whole meddling within the education system in America right now. Well, it's globally, but in America right now, this meddling within the education system. The decline of the West, American education surrenders to equity. And it talks about, the article is actually really well written. I really enjoyed reading this one because it really kind of digs into just a couple of the real main points that we need to be aware of. The decline in science and math skills has accelerated in the past decade, according to the rankings of American students compared with their peers overseas. In a recent assessment from 2015 placed US at 38th out of 71 countries in math and 24 in science. Many schools in the United States have ceased issuing grades that have any meaning, or they have dropped grading altogether, which means there's no way to judge progress or achievement. National test scores for evaluating possible college entry are on the way out. Almost everything, as they were increasingly being condemned as racist in terms of how they assessed learning based solely on the fact that Blacks do less well on them than Asians and whites. The New World Order for education is built around the concept of equity, sometimes described as using the public education system to ensure an equitable outcome. But the concept itself is deeply flawed, as the pursuit of equity means treating all Americans unequally to guarantee that everyone comes out of the schools is the same and has learned the same things. It's like as I talked on Monday, the financial, they talk about the whole globalist agenda of we want to bring everyone to a level playing field. And on the surface, they try to imply that bringing everyone to a level playing field means that you're going to bring everyone up to a level playing field, but that's not the way it works. What they're doing is crushing the middle class to drop everyone down into the playing field of the least resistance, the lowest level. That's how you get equity in finance. And in education, it's the exact same. They're basically creating a situation where, under the guise of fighting racism and equality, they're trying to bring everyone down to the lowest level, not bring everyone up. They're not trying to raise the levels of education to bring everyone up to a level. They're pushing the levels of acceptability down. Now, I talked about this whole, on the last Transpicuous News, this whole thing of the, math, trying to force someone to find the correct answer in math is a white supremacist agenda. And that math apparently doesn't need to have yes or no answers. It's not just black and white, pardon the pun. And I had a good rant. We'll just leave it there. So here's the question. Who is funding this movement? Who's funding this movement? I'll give you one guess, but you won't need it. Bill Gates is bankrolling educational organization that says math is racist. Okay, listen to this. A conglomerate of 25 educational organizations called A Pathway to Equitable Math asserts that asking students to find the correct answer is inherently a racist practice. The organization's website lists Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as its only donor. Its only donor. Now, I could go on and on and on when it comes to education and the extremely adherent problems that we are seeing in modern education. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4 kids, an unschooling mom of 4 kids. I could go on for hours, and I'm not. We're just going to leave it there for the moment. But on on the level of transparency, this article came out this week in the New York Times. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Critical thinking, as we're taught to do it, isn't helping the fight against misinformation. That's right. You don't want to be caught thinking for yourself, do you? Mr. Caulfield, a digital literacy expert at Washington State University, Vancouver, knows all too well that at this very moment, more people are fighting for the opportunity to lie to you than at perhaps any other point in history. That's right. People are fighting for the opportunity to lie to you. Before we get any farther into this, at no point in time during this article does he actually tell you why would these people want to lie to you? Why? What is the reason why people would spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours writing articles, doing recordings and shows, research to lie to you? Why? What's the reason they would spend so much time and effort and energy out of their own lives to lie to you? Because that's just left hanging. They don't explain to you why. He never talks to you about the fact that doctors who are coming forward and speaking out against the COVID jabs, that nurses, medical practitioners, scientists who are coming out and jeopardizing their professional abilities, jeopardizing their own employment by speaking out to lie to you. Why? Why would they jeopardize themselves in this way to lie to you? It's funny how that's never addressed in this article. It's often counterproductive to engage directly with content from an unknown source, and people can be led astray by false information. This is a long article that goes through stuff that is so it's blatantly calling you stupid. The average person is too stupid to be able to discern between false information and real information. And the education system telling people to actually do the research is highly flawed, highly flawed. You should not think for yourself. And if you have a question, his response is, go to Wikipedia for the answer. I can't make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. Now, to close out this little episode, I want to know what reality. I mean, I question my reality that I'm in regularly. I really, really do. But I want to question this to the point of I woke up this morning and discovered that Tucker Carlson and Naomi Wolf actually had a conversation and they agreed with each other. What reality am I in that this happens? Naomi Wolf, under the guise of a real medical pandemic, we're actually moving into a coup situation, a police state situation. She warns that the U.S. is becoming a totalitarian state right before our eyes under Biden. Oh, shock. Oh, shock. Yeah. What reality am I in where these two can actually agree with each other? I don't know. So yeah, don't think for yourself. Please don't do your own research because really you're just too stupid to be able to discern truth from lies. And absolutely don't listen to these people who have zero agenda and have, are willing to give up their professional lives going forward to tell you some information. Don't listen to them because, they're lying to you. They're just trolls. And you absolutely should listen to the validated sources of information, like the corporations who want to sell you a vaccine. That's it. And from the land of upside down world, I'm going to say good morning and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. One little additional bit. I forgot to add it in while I was doing my spiel. This. When we talk about, again, the transparency, don't do your own research. Don't research. You can't research. You're not smart enough. And this, USA Today, your friend got the COVID vaccine and you're jealous. How not to hate them. USA Today spoke with mental health experts on navigating this feeling. And first thing, you're not a bad person for feeling this way. Envy and jealousy because your friend got the COVID vaccine before you did. This is such blatant reverse psychology, propaganda, mind control bullshittery that you pick your jaw off the floor. I'm so astounded. So basically, they're trying to tell you you should be jealous and envious. And if you're not, well, what's wrong with you? There must be something wrong with you if you're not feeling envious that your friend got the vaccine before you. But you're not a bad person if you feel this way. Yes. Transparency in the media. They're just taking it to a level where you can no longer even question the fact that it's all bullshit. This is an upside down world that we live in. I don't know. I have no answers. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Isn't the right one? Not too sharp, I got anything left. Look for it at the right time, but it doesn't seem to come. Or do I get distracted by the turbulence of the frequencies? Yes, I really do bet if I increase